morning, good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to The Den Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we are going to be figuring out what your spiritual gifts are. And I like to preface this video by saying your spiritual gifts aren't just all the clairs, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, and all of that. It is also just living from the heart space and doing things in love is living that divine or that divinity that is within you. So just know that all spiritual gifts won't look like, metaphysical and mystical and magical things. Sometimes your spiritual gift could just be living from that heart space, like I said, and just being a beautiful beacon of light in this world that seems so dark, especially right now. If you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there are probably messages in each pile for you about your spiritual gifts. So once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also try to pin them as the top comment. So without delaying this any further, let's go ahead and give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's go ahead and find out what your spiritual gifts are. And if you did skip my intro, you may want to go back and watch what I said about your spiritual gifts, not just being the clairs, but also just living from that heart space and being a beautiful beacon of light in the world. That is you utilizing that divine part of yourself. So let's go ahead and get some information, and we're gonna go ahead and just start real quick with this cover card. And anytime I use this deck, I get so super long-winded and I don't know what it is. It's like I just get in the zone when I'm reading these cards and I can't stop. So I'm going to try to make myself really rein it back and just say kind of the more basic stuff instead of giving you a long laundry list. So let's go ahead and just figure out what this means for you. So with this Lord Ganesh card, it says infinite abundance. So it says obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. So for you guys, you have this beautiful link to the other side, to your higher self, to whatever you envision is out there, because it is also within you, in here. So as within, so without. So if you think you have to reach so far out to connect with your higher self, with God, with your guides, your angels, that could not be farther from the truth. All you have to do is go inside and it is instantly available to you. And because you have this beautiful hyperlink to, I said, the other side, you have this way of creating beautiful abundance in your life. Even if you aren't the richest person on earth with all these luxury cars and handbags and, all the material things that, I'm not really interested in cars or handbags, but a lot of people are. Even if you have all the material things or not, you have this beautiful way of just making the best of what you have. So say you find a dusty old bookshelf on the side of the road with a free sign on it. You take that bookshelf home and you sand it up and repaint it, refinish it, and just make it look like new. And not just look like new, but you put your own spin and just beautiful mark on things, and you make it your own, you make it unique. And when people come over to your place and see this bookshelf that you have, this is just an analogy, so you can take this bookshelf as whatever it is that you've taken, something you either got for free or paid very little for, and then you spruced it up to make it your own. People see that and they're like, wow, where can I get one of those? And you're like, oh, I just dug it out of the garbage pretty much and put my own shine on it. And people really look up to you for that, because not everyone can do that. Not everyone has this vision of creating beautiful abundance in their life out of literal garbage or just literal, just stuff you have laying around. You can spruce it up or just put this energy into it to refresh it. So you can take a stagnant situation, a stagnant relationship, a stagnant item that's literally on its last legs and ready for the garbage, and you can revitalize that thing and make it shine and just make it something that people are going to admire and look up to. And you, I think, do that best with your own body, with your own soul, with your own mind. You are this person who's constantly recreating yourself. Even if you look the same on the outside, it's like you're leveling up and leveling up and leveling up over and over and over again within your heart, within your soul. You're allowing, and it's not like you're changing yourself into someone you're not. What you're doing is you're allowing that programming, that social norm, person that you thought you needed to be because your teacher said, or your parents said, or a friend said, hey, you need to be more like this or more like that. You're now letting that stuff shed away, especially right now and into your near future, and in the long distant future, you're just going to continue to do this over and over like a snake continually shedding its skin, just to get rid of and offload what is not in your highest good, what your higher self is not about. You're releasing the programming, and you're allowing, when you can release something, envision it as a cup. You pour out some of what's not serving you. You can allow more room for the light to come in, for your higher self to come in. And I said I wasn't going to get long-winded on this card, and it's already happening, so let's just take a breath and hit the brakes on this just a bit, because I could probably just do your spiritual gifts all just from this card, but I want to get some of these other cards incorporated, so let's go ahead and jump into more of those. Yes, I do get long-winded, and this is where my personal readings are really shining or really come in handy, because I don't feel this need to just put a time limit. Like if we have a 1-hour session together, I don't feel like, oh, it's 1 hour, let me just cut you off. I will go until the messages are done flowing, and sometimes that looks like 2 hours or, an hour and a half, but that's not why you're here. Let's get more into this. So we have the Broken Open card. 2 + 8 is 10. 1 + 0 is 1. New beginnings. Like I said, you're just ready for more new. And Broken Open, that just really pairs well with what I said about just shedding your skin, or allowing those pieces of yourself that aren't serving you, that aren't in your best interest, to shed away as you learn more and as you grow more into your more spiritual side and into your spiritual gifts. So one of your spiritual gifts is just allowing the changes that need to come into your life to happen. And I think maybe when you were younger, it was really hard for you. Change was really hard for you. But as you're getting older and more wise, you're now realizing that, okay, these changes need to be made or need to happen so I can get to that next level in my soul's evolution, basically. So you're someone who, even if you are someone who's been through so much, maybe you have lost everything, maybe you have, lost someone that you dearly loved, either through a breakup or a death or something, and it's in those dark moments that you really dig deep within you, and those moments actually serve to help you come out, the real you come out and shine in the world. Even though it's devastating to go through a loss, you guys are those types of people who, you'll break yourself open during a loss, and then you'll find new ways to shine. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm articulating that the way that I'm seeing it in my head. But then you guys have the number 36 card. 3 + 6 is 9, so end of a cycle. So again, you have the end of the cycle, then the new beginning. So it's almost like that wheel energy, where things are just, Wheel of Fortune in the tarot. You have your bad luck, and then it'll turn into good luck, and then it'll keep going, your bad luck, your good luck. So, there's always a flip side of wherever it is that you're at. But with this seeing beyond, that is your clairvoyance. You guys are my clairvoyant pile. You guys have this clear seeing. That's what clairvoyant means, clear seeing. So your third eye is most likely open, or you're just now kind of looking into how to open it, or what you need to do to open it. And my best advice for you to be able to further develop your spiritual gifts is to live from the heart. Be a joyful person. Be living example of what it is you hope to see in the world, and that will help you become the vibration that you want. And it's not like we ever need to become anything that we aren't in this now moment, but the now moment is where your power is, and that now moment is where you can choose a better path than if you're in the depth of despair. Allow yourself to feel that. Don't try to push it away so you can have a higher vibration. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling, and then choose something else. But don't just say, oh no, I don't want to be in grief right now. Shove it down, and then I want to be happy. That's not going to get you happiness. That's not going to help you develop your gifts. So if you are in despair, honor it, acknowledge it, feel it, and move through it to something better. So don't spiritually bypass, because that's going to keep you away from being able to really fully embody these gifts that are naturally you and naturally yours. So allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling, and that will help you develop more of these gifts. But through moving through what's going on, you will allow yourself to move into a higher vibration, and that's when these gifts are more online. But even if you are in the depths of despair, like we were saying, with this Infinite Abundance card, you are still able to be connected where other people are completely feel disconnected, because we're never disconnected. It's just a feeling, whether we feel connected or not connected. Whatever we're feeling, we're always directly connected within, not even a nanosecond. It's just instant. We're constantly always connected. It's just our own ego or our own perceptions that we're disconnected in some way. But you guys are very connected at any point and can always connect to your guides, God, angels, whoever it is you're wanting to connect to. So then you guys have the bodywork card. Your life purpose involves bodywork such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. So you guys are, to me, bodywork involves the planet Mars. So wherever Mars sits in your birth chart, whether it's in the 12th house or the 6th house or the 10th house, it doesn't matter. But where that Mars sits is going to be a place where you can use physical exertion. So say your Mars is in the 6th house, which is, your daily routines, that you would really benefit from, having some sort of exercise routine if you have your Mars in the 6th house, because that's where your power and your passion is in those daily routines. So if you can incorporate some sort of physical exercise or some sort of body work, that would be great for you guys. But also, you guys yourself are healers, because with this body work, massage therapy and energy healing, physical therapy, hands-on, putting your hands on someone to help them heal or to become better. You guys are my healers, and if you didn't know that already, now you do. One way to just test the theory, just go ahead and rub your hands together for anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds, however long you feel, and then just feel that energy ball that is, running, that current of electricity almost that is running between your hands. That is your energetic healing. You can heal, and you don't even need to put your hands on someone to heal them. You can send that out just with your intention. That's how powerful you guys are. So you can do distance healing. Say you have an ailing grandmother across the country and you can't be with her to hold her hand. All you guys have to do with that hyperlink you have is close your eyes, steady your breath and really connect to your breath. That is your magic ticket, or your golden ticket, so to speak, is your breath. And connect to that breath, and then put the intention out there that you are holding her hand. Her hand is in between both of your hands, and you are infusing her body with healing and loving energy, and that energy will absolutely reach her. So try that out. That was just an example. You can try it out on a friend, a loved one. If you're watching this at the time of my posting, you can send that loving, healing energy to the wildfires here in the west of the U.S. Here in Montana, things are pretty bad with the smoke and even fires surrounding us, but it looks more like California, Oregon, Washington are really going through it. So, if you want to test out this theory, you can go ahead and send that loving energy, that healing energy out just to see what you can accomplish. So then you guys have the clairsentience card, and it says here, notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So you guys may get chills a lot, or, as I call them, the tingles that I get in my readings a lot. That lets you know that you are on the right path, or that something's not meant for you, or that someone's energy is toxic. Whatever it is, I feel like you guys are those people who can walk into a room and just know that something bad had just gone down. Maybe there had just been a fight, or, some words were had, or something like that. And you can physically cut that energy with a knife. You can feel it so much. And sometimes you'll just get feelings like really overwhelming. You'll just be like washing the dishes or something, and you'll just have this beautiful, overwhelming sense of joy that just washes out over you out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, where did that come from? I can't talk. I'm so excited for you guys. Where did that come from? How come I'm feeling so good right now? That is just your clairsentience tapping into that beautiful vibration of love, or, warning you, hey, it's time to leave this room, or whatever the case may be. But you guys have beautiful intuition is really what's standing out to me most. Then with this Judge card, the light attribute says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So you guys are also my social justice warriors, as I like to call you. People who see something that's not right as far as the way people are being treated, the way the earth is being treated, the way animals are being treated, and you don't just stand idly by and let those things continue to happen. You are either stepping in to help somebody, or you are speaking out either in person or on social media. You guys aren't just gonna let, be the victims and let things happen to you. No, you guys are the ones that want to make this sense of balanced scales of fairness for you, for everyone. You guys have this beautiful, it's Libra energy because, and I recently was called out in one of my readings that someone's like, you just told us that Libras are very unbalanced, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm a Libra and I'm very balanced. And I was like, well, I'm glad that you are balanced. To this person, is my comment. But Libras have to actually work harder than most, if not all, other signs to maintain that level of balance, because that's what we're here to learn, especially a Libra ascendant. So if you yourself, which I am a Libra ascendant, but if you yourself are a Libra ascendant, this makes total sense for me. But wherever Libra falls in your chart, that's where your sense of justice and wanting to balance things really comes into play in your personal life. So then you guys have the forgiveness card, number 96. 9 plus 6 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. I hope I did the math right on that. If not, you can call me out in the comments for that one. But this is that sense of, with a 6, that is that unconditional love, that motherly energy, that nurturing, that forgiveness. So for me, for you guys are not quick to forgive, but when you decide to forgive yourselves, forgive a parent for something they did, forgive a friend, forgive someone, that doesn't mean that you condone it and make that okay. It's just that you're releasing the burden of having this resentment against someone, and it's actually freeing you. Forgiveness isn't something you do for someone else, it's something you do as a gift to yourself, so you don't have to harbor those resentments and carry them around for the rest of your life. So the fact that you guys have this forgiveness card tells me that you guys, again, are not quick to forgive, but when you decide to forgive, it's like you can just release all of that resentment and pent up energy that you're using to harbor against someone, even if you're completely innocent and it's completely needed or warranted to feel so angry towards someone. Allow yourself not to just forgive and forget. Make yourself, or allow yourself to feel how much this person or this situation or whatever it is has hurt you. Allow yourself to feel that, because again, you can't heal anything until you allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to immerse in it. And I know that sounds totally counterproductive or counterintuitive, but if you can allow yourself to be in that vibration, to feel it, and then release it, that's magic. That is alchemy, you guys. And you guys, right next to it, we have the release card. You guys are my energy. Okay, here come the tingles. Yep, here comes that clairsentience at play in your reading. You guys are my alchemists. You can take toxic energy or emotions and turn them into something beautiful. When you exhale and you release what's not serving you, and then that energy doesn't just go out and create toxic and havoc somewhere else. The earth will take that energy back, especially if you want to work with trees. Trees are an absolutely amazing way. Just the way our lungs exchange that carbon dioxide with the oxygen with the tree, like that cycle that we have with the trees. We can take our negative toxic feelings and energy and just literally put our hands on a tree, and you're thinking, well, I don't want to hurt the tree doesn't deserve my negative energy. That's absolutely not the case, because just like we breathe out that carbon dioxide, that tree takes that in and uses that as fuel to produce leaves or to create more branches or deeper root systems. That tree knows how to, tingles again, that tree knows how to transmute that energy and use it for the betterment of the world and for itself. So you guys would be absolutely amazing at going out, any tree you can find, from a tiny sapling to a giant redwood, wherever you are, any tree will do. You can connect with this tree and ask it. It will allow you to give it some of your energy, and usually I've never had a tree say no. So, you can try this out and allow that exchange to happen where that tree allows you to put all that negative energy into the tree, and in exchange you will have this sense of lightness about yourself to where you can take on something that is going to feel better. And again, it's not just saying, okay, tree, take all my negativity. You need to allow yourself to feel it first and then release it. But I think you guys already know this. You guys have this card as a spiritual gift. You know how to release what's not serving you. With that infinite abundance, when you release what's not serving you, you allow that room to create something that will serve you and will serve the greater good and humanity at large. Then we have the Hello from Heaven card. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. So again, we were talking about that hyperlink to the other side or beyond the veil. You guys are my mediums as well. So you guys do have the gift of mediumship, and I do feel it might be similar to the way that I have my mediumship gifts, where it's really hard for me to, because my ego's involved when it's a personal loved one that has crossed, that my ego just wants so bad to connect that a lot of times it blocks a connection, or I can feel the person coming in, but I don't know what they're trying to say because I have so much emotional attachment to it. But when it comes to other people, especially people I don't know, that link or that communication is so much more open and available and ready. But I think you guys are much the same, to where if it's your grandmother or a friend or a parent or a child that has passed, or someone who's very close to you especially, it might be really hard for you to feel that. You may feel the connection, but you may not know what it is that they're trying to communicate, or you may not feel like your communication is getting through to them. But where other people are concerned, strangers and all that, you can connect really well because, again, your ego or your own emotions aren't tied into it. So maybe if you don't know you're a medium, you can test this out on someone, maybe a friend that you maybe didn't know, anyone that's passed over for them. Just see if you can try to connect, or just put the signal out there that you're open to communication with spirit, of course for your highest and best good, and the highest and best good for those around you, so that you're not allowing yourself to be open to spirits that maybe just want to come in and have a little fun and play tricks. But yeah, try that out because that is one of your spiritual gifts. So then we have the study card. Reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. But not just your career, every area of life. You guys are my students of life. You could learn everything there is to learn about everything and still feel like you haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. You guys want to know everything, but not in that know-it-all kind of way. It's in the way that the more you know, and I've said this recently in another reading, so if you actually got that pile as well, this is a double validation for you. It's like the more you know, the more you understand that you don't know. So it's like, they say the fool is the one who thinks they know everything, but the person who actually knows a lot knows they don't know anything. Kind of, I hope I'm saying that right, but I think you guys know what I mean. But you guys are interested in just like all these different topics, from, I think I had used the example from earthworms to like quantum physics or quantum mechanics or time travel, or just the ways of the world and the underworkings and near-death experiences, like even true crime stuff. I think you guys may really be interested in true crime and may actually have theories about, okay, so what happened to, in the first one that pops up is JonBenet Ramsey. You may like feel like you know what happened to her, like you can see it play out in your mind, or another, any kind of true crime. Maybe you guys have watched those or been really like morbidly curious about true crime stuff since you were young, and maybe even as you're older now, you're still very interested in it. And I feel like your guys' intuition works as such that you guys actually really tap into what happened. So say you're watching a true crime movie or Dateline or one of those, and you're like, oh, I bet this happened, I bet that's why they couldn't find the weapon and blah blah blah. And you, like, I want to say like 8 or 9 times out of 10 you guys are tapped right into that energy. So if you guys are interested in true crime or solving unsolved mysteries or murders or crimes that have happened, you'll have to let me know below, because that was very specific kind of spiritual gift to want to solve unsolved mysteries or unsolved crimes. Cold cases, that's the word that just came to me. Okay, you guys, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, but this was very powerful. You guys are beautiful manifestors. You have that clairvoyance and the clairsentience and the mediumship and this sense of forgiveness and being able to release and start anew. That energy work and just being those students of life that want to know everything. You want to know all the things, and this is powerful. This is beautiful energy, especially now. You are the types of people we need moving forward in the world to create something better than is what is here right now. So I want to thank you guys for incarnating at this time. You guys are beautiful, magical, spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what your spiritual gifts are. And if you skipped my intro, I just wanted to preface this by saying that your spiritual gifts aren't just those clairs, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience. They are also just being able to tap into that beautiful heart center within yourself and just be that living example of living from your heart space, being that divine spark within this world. Excuse me, there is a lot of smoke and forest fires around me, so I do apologize if my voice kind of cuts in and out. It's been kind of rough. But I do want to let you guys know that just being in that heart center and being in that joyful part of yourself is a beautiful spiritual gift that you can share with people and yourself every day. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I did say in group 1 that when I read from this deck, I just can go on and on and on and on. And I probably only needed to draw 1 card, which would be this deck, to get all the information you need, because I don't know what it is about this deck, but when I use it, I just tap into something beyond most other decks that I have. So I'm going to try to keep what I say about this card short. Didn't quite hit that mark with group 1, but I'm going to try in group 2. And maybe try not to make this reading as long as group 1. That was a very long reading. So, okay, we have the Freya card, which is all about phases and cycles. It says, there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And this kind of comes into play with what we were talking about in group 1, because they had great beginnings and beautiful endings as well. So that kind of phoenix rising from the ashes kind of energy, and we have it here within your group as well. But I think that is because that is so prevalent already in these first 2 groups, it just goes to show that you guys are someone who was sent here to make this world better, to change the way we do things on this planet. That you're not here to maintain that status quo. You are here to break the old cycles and move into some beautiful new energy and create a new earth. And with this Freya card, I'm really being drawn to the moon and the crow here. And I'm really being drawn especially to the crow. So I feel like you guys have this, you may have the crow as a spirit guide, or even the raven. They kind of interchange but have slightly different meanings. But birds or that air element, maybe you yourself are a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. So you may have prominent placements or sun, moon, or rising within those houses or those signs within your chart. And that will give you more guidance as to what this spiritual gift might be about. So if for say Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius is the ruler of your 3rd house, you have beautiful communication. And I'm also really being drawn to, again, the moon, which is that Cancer energy, that intuition, that motherly, and also the illusions of the world. So I'm feeling like you guys are able to see through the matrix, so to speak, or you have stepped yourself right out of the matrix, or You guys just can have a really good sense of people's BS when they are lying to you. You are my human lie detectors, I like to call you. But whatever it is that's being hidden truth, hidden knowledge, hidden history, hidden agendas, either in your personal life or on a grander scale in the world, you guys can see through it and see like the puppet master pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's like you guys pull back that curtain of Oz and see the little guy standing there and realize, oh wow, this is what's going on. Not even funny, because you're trying to scare everyone with this big booming voice, and you're just this little dude that could like literally be snapped in half if I really wanted to. But that really tells me you guys are coming into this sense of power that you've never known before. Or maybe you felt it within you and it's kind of been bubbling beneath the surface, but from this day forward, you guys are really going to be stepping into your spiritual gift of being able to call out that BS, and not just calling it out and breaking down the old systems. That's not all that you do. You also have, because it's that phase and cycles, that death and rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth, and it's very also Scorpio or Pluto type of energy as well. But what I'm really wanting to say is that you guys don't just go in and barge in and destroy what is existing. You also want to help facilitate and build something new in its place. So it's like you go in and tear down the old house, and then you pour a new foundation and build a very solid, beautiful structure with that. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get some more guidance from these cards. All right, you guys, wow. This is so powerful and so amazing. I just can't. You guys may have also been drawn to group number 1, and I'm getting tingles as I say that. So I think some of you, if you haven't been drawn to group 1, maybe check it out, because there are a lot of similarities in these two groups. I mean, there are very distinct differences as well, but very big similarities. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm first being drawn to the number 33 up here, that master number. So you may be seeing a lot of 33s, or you may be a life path number 33. So you might want to look up what 33 means and all of that. But with ears wide open, that tells me you have the gift of clairaudience. You can hear spirit. You can hear maybe even voices within your own head. And I don't say that like you have a mental disorder where you have schizophrenia or anything like that. I'm just saying that as you are tapping into something beyond the 5 physical senses. This is one of your spiritual gifts. And as I say that, I'm now being drawn down here. I didn't realize. Clairaudience. You have clairaudience twice. That is strong. That message definitely wants to come through if it's coming to you in 2 totally different decks. It says here with the clairaudience, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So you guys also have this gift of just being in the right place at the right time. Maybe you're standing in line at the grocery store and the people in front of you are having a conversation, and whatever it is they're talking about is like a sign for you. Maybe you've been hearing a lot of stuff about, dragonflies or something, and this woman's talking about this dragonfly that visited her last night in her garden, or something like that. Or maybe she's talking about a TV show, and the advice that the person in the TV show had told someone else in the TV show is exactly the advice you need to hear. So it's like you're in the right place at the right time to hear what you need to hear. And as I'm saying that, I also hear that you guys get beautiful downloads and messages through music, whether it's the beat of the music or the beautiful strings of like a instrumental piece, or if it's the actual lyrics of the song that you're listening to. You get messages from beyond through music. So you can do it one way or the other, or all the ways that we were just talking about. But you guys have this beautiful, strong, very, very strong sense of clairaudience. So whether you know that or not, now you do. But if you already knew that, just really be aware and, alert to what is being said around you, what music is playing around you, because there are messages and symbols everywhere for you to uncode, and synchronicities are popping up all over around you. Then we have the call of the muse, number 31, 3 + 1 is 4. That is that supporting energy, that stable foundation that is being built beneath you or is already beneath you from your guides, your angels, God, the universe, whoever it is you look to or call to. But with this call of the muse card, you guys are my creative pile. You guys are very tapped into the other side, and then you channel that information into whatever creative endeavors that you go after. Whether you are a tarot reader, or you are a writer, or a painter, or an interior designer, whatever your craft is, you guys you don't just, use your five senses to create a beautiful, say, masterpiece of a painting or a piece of music or something. Oh, and with music, maybe you guys are really tapped in with that clairaudience to where you can channel music from the other side, which there are quite a few artists that when you listen, and I'm getting the tingles as I say that, but when you listen to them, you just know within your own bones that this person was tapped into something beyond this world, because, oh gosh, yes, chills. So you guys yourselves may be those beautiful, magnificent, masterful maestros, people creating this beautiful music that this world needs right now. But if you're not someone who creates music, maybe you just have this absolutely intimate connection with music, and you almost, it's like breathing. You can't go a day without having your music, your headphones on, or just listening to music as you go about your day. Music is very important to you guys in one way or another. It's really standing out to me. But with this Call of the Muse, you guys can tap into something far beyond, what we consider this 3D realm here. You're tapping into realms beyond this to channel that information into what it is you're creating. And I just saw someone actually creating jewelry, like crystal jewelry, and even maybe using polymer clay. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. So you're channeling this beautiful divine vibration within the jewelry that you're making. Or if you're writing a book, you are using words in such a way, they don't call it spelling for nothing. Words are spells. So maybe the wording that you're using is helping wake people up, or helping raise people to another level to want to be better, and inspiring people in some way. Or maybe the colors you're using on the canvas are just they're breaking something open inside of someone, and just allowing more of the divine to shine within the viewer of your painting. Whatever it is you guys are creating, you are yep, here come the tingles again. Whatever you guys are creating, it is helping awaken people. It is helping people wake up to the lies that we've been told on this planet, and the systems that are broken. And it's not awakening them to this sense of despair. I mean, obviously you kind of have to admit, okay, yes, this world is an ish show right now. You got to admit that before you can step into something better. But you don't just offer them through your creative endeavors. You don't just offer people the truth. You offer them, okay, this is what's happening, and this is what we can do about it. And it's all on a subconscious level. This isn't an in-your-face kind of thing. This is all on a subconscious level, or on a soul level, that you are relaying this information out, and that people are picking up what you're putting down. So people aren't, on a conscious level reading your words and being like, they are trying to wake me up. It is all subconscious, or on that soul level, or on, it's on a whole other level is really what I'm saying. So it's almost like if you're a writer, you could write words that have one meaning just in reading them, but on like a subconscious or underlying level, you have like codes within those that are from the divine, or from the other side, or however you want to look at that, from another dimension, that you're putting in your words that are going to help people rise up to another level, is just really what I'm seeing. Then we have the energy healing card, and it's funny because Group 1 had the body work card in this position, and it's very similar to the energy healing, but what I'm really getting from this card is you are my healers as well. And ways to tap into that are, just by being in a meditative state and really connecting with your guides and angels, and just asking, how can I best use my energy to heal this earth, to heal the animals, to heal people? And you will get either a guide or some sort of download of information as to how you can best do that. But for some of you, it's going to be Reiki, or some sort of distance healing, or just, volunteering and being in the right place at the right time. I keep hearing you guys are always in the right place at the right time. I got that with that grocery store example, or just being able to hear what you need to hear at the right time. But it's like just you guys going and visiting, someone across the country, or visiting another country, going overseas somewhere and visiting, It's like you go places and get activated, and in return activate the earth as well. It's like a beautiful exchange and a give and take with the earth and the different portals of energy around the earth. You are activated by those portals and also putting your energy healing into those portals to heal that area of the world. But this is an important part of what you're here to do, is just to be wherever it is you are at that moment. There's nothing special you have to do at all. Just being on this planet right now and holding the light, holding the vibration to raise this planet up to a more fifth dimensional consciousness, that is you doing your job. That is you living your light just by being. And the more in your heart you can be wherever it is you're going throughout your day, the better off you, the planet, and the people you come into contact with are going to be for having you been there, if that makes sense. I can see it clearly in my head. Not sure if I'm articulating it. I got a little tongue-tied also in group 1, where I just couldn't quite put into words what I was seeing in my head out for you guys. So I hope that resonates and you understand what I'm saying. So then you guys have the Strength card. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. And absolutely, with this Freya card paired up with that, you guys haven't had the easiest life. You guys have really been through it from probably past lives as well, but as far as this life goes, from a very early age, maybe you didn't have the best parents, or maybe you had been given away at birth or adopted, or just had a really rough childhood. Maybe you yourself were very rebellious because you just knew this world was not the way, and designed and laid out the way that it was supposed to be for everyone's optimal good. So you rebelled against your teachers, or you rebelled against your parents, or you rebelled against employers, or whatever it is. I just see you guys wanting to stand firm in what you know to be truth, and you guys are doing that now more than ever, and not in maybe such a rebellious sort of way, but it's more of a quiet rebellion now than it was back in the day, where you were just rebelling to rebel. You didn't really know why you were rebelling, but you just wanted to, and it felt right. Now you know why you're rebelling, and you're doing it in a more quiet way, and it's like you're not gonna announce to everyone, like as a teenager that's going out to parties and drinking and stuff, like, I'm gonna go party and drink and do all these things. Now, instead of announcing what you're gonna do, you just freaking do it. I'm not gonna do what they say, because it's not hurting anyone by you living your truth. You living your truth is actually helping people. And again, going back to that art and that music, you being in that sense of knowing, that soul aspect, that heart chakra, that part of yourself that just knows, that claircognizance, that's another one of your gifts that wasn't even represented, but now I know. You guys just know. You just know. You may not have any proof to prove to anyone else, but you're not here to prove anything. You're just here to do what you need to do and be where and when and who and how you need to be, if that makes sense. So that's very beautiful. And you guys do have this, with that number 4 here, that support of your guides and angels, and then with the Strength, I just think warrior energy here, and then you have the warrior card. But what's really standing out to me now is that Archangel Michael is really working with you guys, and he works with a lot of these warriors, and just really wants to help raise the vibration of this earth. But we can't do that until we acknowledge that yes, the systems in place on this earth right now are a complete-ish show, a complete train wreck, and before we can, change things, we got to derail that train and put it on a new track. So then with the number 9 card here, we have completion, phases, and cycles go hand in hand. That number 9, you guys aren't just completing something, you rise again like that phoenix from the ashes with a new beginning. And it's, because it says here that there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So once you come to the truth of something, you don't just wallow in that self-pity of, we've been lied to, I'm a victim, and then just go down a downward spiral. You're like, wow, this is what's happening. You allow yourself to feel that, because when you can feel it, you can heal it. If you just tamp it down or try to push it away, you're just spiritually bypassing that. But I think you guys know that, and you guys are really big on shadow work, or if you don't know what that is or haven't done that, look into what that is, because that is how you can liberate yourself, or from your ego, or from the world, so to speak, and allow more of that spiritual part of yourself to come online and operate the driver's seat, rather than letting your more worldly part of yourself, the ego and all that, run the driver's seat. And I'm not one of those people that thinks you need to kill your ego and be done with it. No, absolutely not. In this world, at least at this time, we definitely need our ego to keep us safe. Absolutely. But we don't need to let our ego run the show like most people do. We don't need to let that ego in the driver's seat 24/7. There's a time and place. It's almost like at this point now, it's like we're on a road trip between our ego and higher self, and we're taking turns in the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And that's what you guys are really working on, is giving your higher self more time in that driver's seat than your ego. Okay, so now we're at this warrior card. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So beautiful. I mean, I didn't even read that, and that's what we were just talking about. But pairing that up with the strength card, you have the strength word twice. You guys are way stronger than you know. And just being able to endure this world is a superpower. You guys are strong. Just want you to know that. That is one of your spiritual gifts, is just being able to endure this 3D realm. That is huge. That is huge. There are so many people out there that just can't deal with it. They can't handle it. Some people are taking their own lives. Some people are, finding a way in their, soul contract to have like an out clause, like, okay, I'm out. They realize I bit off way more than I could chew on my soul contracts, and I just need out. I mean, that's not every single person that leaves, because there are people who complete their soul's contract at a very young age, and then they're like, well, I'm done here, I'm on to the next, and then they leave the body. But now more than ever, there are people checking out left and right because this energy is just too much. It's that chaotic breakdown of one world going into the next is too much for some people. A lot of people are choosing, maybe they did choose in their soul contract that when the ish hit the fan, they were gonna slowly bow out. So that could be, but that's not you guys. You guys are here for the long haul, I feel like, and you guys have this warrior spirit to just conquer that ego part of yourself and allow more of that higher self to step in and run the show. Then with this forest card, we have the breath, and one of the most powerful things we can do in this world, in our bodies, is connect to our breath. Meditate, connect to that breath, because that is our life force. Our breath is our life force. And if you think about it, with this virus that's going around, it is an attack on our life force, our very breath. So it's very telling for the times that we're in that our breath is now more important than it's ever been. And even if you can just give 5 minutes a day to connect to your breath and feel yourself in the now moment, in your body, feel your cells vibrating, and I'm getting chills now, guys. Talk about cells vibrating, they start vibrating. But you guys have this beautiful spiritual gift of being able to connect to your breath. So if you're not someone who meditates, or you're like, oh, meditation, I can't quiet my mind, there's no way. It doesn't matter. You don't need to quiet your mind. That's just, a lot of people think, oh, I can't meditate because I can't quiet my mind. It's almost nearly impossible with the amount of distractions we have in this 3D realm, and just the amount of busyness and do that we are as human beings operating in. It is nearly, if not impossible, to quiet your mind. That's why you want to focus on something. You want to focus on your breath. In, hold, and out. In, hold, and out. Just focusing on that gives you something for your mind to do, and it focuses you in the now moment, in your body, and helps you get that link to spirit, to your higher self, to source, that is not somewhere way out there, like I said in pile number 1. It's within you. And all you need to do is quiet yourself, quiet your body, quiet your mind, connect with that breath, and you have a direct, instant connection to your higher self, to source, to everything and everyone, everywhere that ever existed. That connection can be almost instantaneous if you just put your intention to it. That is one of your spiritual gifts and powers and superpowers. It's beautiful. it's more important now than ever to get back into that meditative practice if you can. Then you have the spiritual understanding card with Archangel Raziel. He says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. So I know when I had my spontaneous Kundalini awakening, when I would close my eyes at night, I would see, and I said it was something between a lava lamp of lights and then like a kaleidoscope. Like if you could mix a kaleidoscope and a lava lamp and then also put like weird, like scripty, like, almost like hieroglyphics or something, cuneiform, some sort of like ancient, or maybe not even from this world, I don't know, kind of like hieroglyphics or texts, symbols is the word I'll use. It was just, behind my closed eyes in the pitch dark, I was seeing blue and purple and white and green swirling lights, almost like lava lamp bubbles as well, with that weird like geometric shapes of the kaleidoscope with the symbols and all of that. And I have a feeling you guys are also tapping into whatever that was downloading into me at that time, and has since once in a while. I don't have that happen every day, but once in a while that'll happen and I'll be like, wow, it's back, this is so cool. But I have a feeling you guys, if you haven't already, you're gonna have some sort of experience like that. Or maybe as you're going about your day and your life and you just see random weird symbols and it's almost like you know what they mean without knowing what they mean. So you may even want to work with Archangel Raziel. He's the one I feel it in my soul. He's the one that was really helping me. Of course, Archangel Michael is one of my main guides as well, but Archangel Raziel really stepped forward during that spontaneous Kundalini awakening that I had to hold my hand and guide me, so I wasn't afraid and just said, everything's okay, just allow what you're seeing, it's fine, you're gonna be okay. And that really helped me not freak out, because that, if that awakening would have happened for me even 5 years earlier, I probably would have ended up in some sort of mental hospital, because it would have just been too much for my mind to handle. You guys are very amazing beings. You guys, thank you so much for incarnating on the planet at this time. This is absolutely beautiful. These gifts that you have and incarnated with and are developing every single minute that goes by, the more intention you can put into your breath to connecting more and bringing more of your higher self online and bringing more of those spiritual gifts into your physical body and your physical reality, the better off you're going to be, because we are raising from, we got to let things crumble in the world right now before we can raise up from that and then begin something new. And we're in the thick of it right now, and I'm not going to say the next few years are going to be easy for anyone, if not everyone, but you guys, if anyone can make it out of these next couple of years, or this from one cycle into the next, it is you guys. You guys are my strength, my warriors, my phoenixes and crows and ravens rising from the ashes and ready. You guys are ready. You got your war paint on and you're ready to go. And again, it's not going to be easy, but you guys have this beautiful willpower and strength within you that is going to help you get through it. And thank you for sharing your gifts with us. It's beautiful that you decided to be here at this time for the beautiful show that is the Great Awakening, that is the Age of Aquarius. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here, and you'll have to let me know below what you thought, if these were spiritual gifts you already knew about, or if it's news to you. Either way, I love to hear from you guys, and I love to see the conversations you guys get going between yourselves in the comments. So thanks again, you guys, so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye! Alright, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out what your spiritual gifts are. And as I was saying in my intro, if you skipped it, your spiritual gifts aren't just, the clairs, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and all of that. A lot of times your spiritual gifts look like you living from that heart-centered space and being that divine spark within this 3D realm. So you guys are that living light, that living example for other people. But let's go ahead, we're going to go ahead and start with this card, but anytime I use this deck, I could get real long-winded on this deck. I connect to this deck so much that at times when I use this deck, I almost regret dealing any other cards, because I could just go on and on and on about this card. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hopefully I won't take too long, but let's see what we have. So we have the Holy Spirit card, and it says here, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. And it is just so true. I feel like you guys are the ones, like, you will heal people without even trying. Like, I just see these sort of like gems that are kind of written on the hands here. It's kind of hard to see up top. I can't really focus that. I don't know if you can see that there. Those gems kind of outlined there on the palms. But what that's reminding me of is just the fact that you guys have this beautiful healing energy within your hands, which both groups 1 and 2 also had. But it's just letting me know that you guys are like walking miracle workers. So maybe you guys are in the right place at the right time, and you offer someone, you know, say there's a homeless person and you give them $1, and they were just so absolutely grateful because that $1 put them to the amount that they can now go buy a hamburger or something. You guys are just these little walking miracles on this planet, and it's just beautiful because everywhere you go, you're just spreading your love and your light, and people see you as this calming, just almost ethereal sense, or this person who just has their back as well. But in effect, you guys being the miracle for other people, you guys have miracles happen around you all the time. And I think especially when you were children or young adults, even if you're still a child or a young adult, I'm not sure who is watching this and how old you are, you maybe had some near experiences where you thought, well, man, I should have gotten a lot more hurt than I just did. And I have a couple examples that I'll use from my own childhood and my own teenagerhood that will help you understand what I'm trying to say. But I used to live in the top, like there was a 3 branch fork in the weeping willow tree in my front yard as a child, and I would sit up there. I would take my homework up there and do it. I would read up there. I would daydream up there. I would just spend time up there, and it was my favorite place to be. But one day I was, coming back down, and that was way up there. But I decided I would just, willy-nilly go down there and try to come down, and somehow slipped, and I hit like every branch on the way and then thudded right down to the ground from way up there. It was way above the roof line of my 2-story house. So how I hit every branch on the way down and thudded onto the ground without the wind being knocked out of me, without a bruise, without a scratch. Miracle. That's the only explanation. And another thing that happened right under that tree, my sister, who's 2 years younger than me, is terrified of storms, and I was there was a storm, obviously, that's where I'm going, and I was trying to round up all of the furniture, the lawn furniture, so it wouldn't blow away in this storm, and I got everything kind of rounded up and laid down so it wouldn't blow away, and lightning struck right beside me by the tree, and I went flying back to the tree. But again, wasn't hurt, wasn't harmed, and stuff like that. So you guys may have had some things happen in your life, and I'm seeing even for you guys like maybe near car accidents that could have been absolutely fatal or just catastrophic, but you didn't even get hit. Like maybe I'm seeing someone like almost hitting a deer, but the deer just like moved out of the way, or another car just somehow swerved just at the right time to avoid hitting you, or something like that. But you guys are like divinely protected. Like, gosh, chills. Oh my goodness, guys. It's like, I don't want you to test this out, but it's almost like you guys could walk into like onto the freeway with a blindfold and just walk casually across 12 lanes of whatever and not even have any wrecks happen or have a scratch. Like, you're fine. I don't want you to try that. That was just a out there example, because you guys are so heavily and divinely protected on this planet that it's almost like nothing could kill you, nothing can stop you, nothing can harm you. And it's not to say you guys can't be in accidents where you do get harmed, because I do see that happening quite a bit to you guys. Maybe you guys are very accident prone, but it's like, just knowing what miracles you guys are, it's like it could have been so much worse, but it wasn't. That's what's really standing out to me. But there are also other miracles that happen to you guys where maybe the money that you need to pay bills just somehow manifests into your account, and you're just like, how is this happening? Or you have this big bill coming up and you're like, oh, I just don't know if I'm gonna have enough to pay it. then the bill gets sent and it's like half of what you thought it was going to be. And you're like, there's no way. This should be like $400 instead of $200 or, something like that. You're just being looked out for in such a way that you're going to be okay, especially if you're watching this time of my posting in 2020. The year of the apocalypse is what a lot of people are calling this, maybe not in a serious way, but in a more ha-ha funny kind of way. But especially moving forward, if you can just know, not to be reckless or anything. Be very, very cautious and careful with your life and with your finances and with everyone around you. But just know you are divinely protected. And, if you're afraid of the way the world is going, riots in cities, fires, forced, medical procedures being done to certain people, if you're afraid of these things, just know you are protected. So even if something happened to where you had to, because you had no other choice, do something, just know you are protected, you are held, you are loved by the divine, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to be better than okay. You're going to be that continued walking miracle in this world. So let's go ahead and get some more information. My gosh, you guys, I just can't right now. Like, everything we were talking about, here it is, everything. Wow. Oh my gosh, I just have to start over here with this protected card. I mean, I can't even talk. What were we just talking about? And now I'm like kicking myself that I didn't just shuffle on camera, because I don't look at these before I get everything laid out. I just deal them face down and then get all the piles accumulated and go. I'm seeing these for the first time when you guys are, and I love it when this one card will just validate everything else that we got with it. I love that. I love how Spirit does that. But we're going to go ahead and get into this. So the protected card, you are safe and supported while you change your career, but also in life, because we aren't doing a career reading. We are doing spiritual gifts reading. So one of your gifts is you have this like bubble of protection around you from your guides, from your angels, from your higher self. You have this aura about you where maybe people out there wanting to do harm to someone, you have this aura around you that almost just protects you. It's almost like it makes you invisible in their eyes. So, and I'm seeing another random example, like maybe you have a car parked in a parking lot at the store and you come out and your car's fine, but little did you know, there was someone going around with a thing of keys, just keying cars, just to be a B word, just to be a brat. And somehow, some way, it's like your car was just invisible to them and it just wasn't even on their radar. Like stuff like that. You guys are so protected, you just don't even know it. And that's just like the main message of this, is just this divine, beautiful bubble of protection. But then again, to caveat that, to say, don't be reckless because you know you're protected. Still take your best care of yourself and the care of those around you and the care of your things, because that's just what you should do anyway. But just knowing you have that extra level of protection is going to help your peace of mind and just that stress level. That will help keep that low, because we want to keep that as low as possible, especially now, because literally everything is going to raise that stress level in 2020. But then we have the Feeling the World card. 1 + 3 is 4. That support, that love, that guidance, that foundation from your guides, from your angels, from the universe, from God. You guys have it. It's just pervasive. What's the word I'm looking for? It just permeates this reading. See, I can't even talk. I'm so in this energy of protection and just feeling like I could walk on water, because this is the energy you guys have. This is that amazing effect you guys have on people, because I'm reading your energy and look what it's doing to me. You guys are amazing. But with this Feeling the World card, that is that clairsentience. You guys can feel. You just feel things. You can walk into that room and know there was just a fight. You can feel when something's not good for you. You can feel when an opportunity is for you. You guys have this feeling, and she's got the world right here in her hands. And I just heard that song from like young youth group or young nursery, like Sunday school nursery. You know that song, he's got the whole world in his hands. You know that song? I'm hearing that right now for you guys. And it's like, but instead of like God having the whole world in their hands, it's like you have the whole world in your hands. You can do anything, you can be anything, But I think it's at the same time you feel this great sense of responsibility where the earth is concerned. And that is one of your gifts. That's not by mistake. You feel so like in charge of needing to take care of the earth. And say you own a house. You want to take the best care of your house and your property and the animals that visit that property and the people that visit that property. You just want to be that motherly, that divine feminine love for wherever it is you are, whoever it is you're with, and whatever it is you're doing. You want to bring that love and that sense of, you know, holding the world in your hands. You bring that with you everywhere you go. And that's why you feel such a miracle to people. I mean, again, going back to the palms, holding so much energy and love and light in your hands. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. This is just amazing. Then we have the number 34. 3 plus 4 is 7. That spiritual number, very spiritual, opening to discovery. And I'm feeling with this card, what this is really telling me is you guys have discovered ways or things about the world that you now know are the exact opposite or were a lie. And now you're rediscovering what your truth is. Not the truth you've been told by the media or your parents or your teachers or, you know, society in general, but the truth that you've come to know from going within and tapping into that soul aspect part of yourself. That this is that card. It feels like you're awakening. You're awakening to something. You're awakening to the ways of the world. You're awakening to your spiritual gifts. You're awakening to your soul. You're awakening. You're waking up from that sleeping state and coming. It's like you're coming online. It's like that old clunky computer that was on dial-up, and overnight someone changed the connection and now you're on, like, I don't even know, like really, really high speed. I won't say FG because I'll put the word here. That's not a good one to say because you can get yourself in trouble online for even talking about that. But a very, very high speed, we'll just call it divine connection. You are finding that divine connected internet rather than that like really slow clunky dial-up that maybe you had before. So if you haven't been through a spiritual awakening, just know that it is coming for you guys. It's on the horizon for sure, but I feel like most of you guys have already been at least had a toe in the pool of awakening, if not the whole body immersed and in it and ready and just living your spiritual truth here on this planet. I'm just really seeing. Then we have the flowers card. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So I'm really feeling like that's that connection that you feel to the earth, Mother Earth, Gaia. You just feel this sense of responsibility, but working with essence of flowers or dried flowers, herbs, gardening, is really going to benefit you guys and help you. One of your spiritual gifts is being able to connect with the earth realm and plants and earth elementals and the sylphs and just all the earth beings. You guys are very connected, and flowers it's like nature's beautiful candy or something. It's just one of the most beautiful things to be found in nature are the flowers. So what I'm really feeling like is that when you guys work with flower or the flower energy, it's like you guys are these beacons of light and just beauty. Other people see you as someone just very beautiful, and I don't know, I get this really just divine sense of being nurtured and taken care of. Because when I think flowers, I think feminine, and not just because, oh, women like flowers and wear flowers in their hair and wear flower patterns and have floral couches and all that. I'm not thinking it that way, but when I think of a flower, I think of all the things that need to happen for that flower to be able to bloom. You know, and the seed needs to be planted. It needs to be in that darkness and then come out. And then it needs to have greenery come out, and then it needs to bloom, and then the bees go around and pollinate the flowers. I mean, if you think of how much work and energy and effort and what a team effort it is to take a seed from a seed to the full-bloomed flower, what a miracle. And going back to miracle, it's like, what a miracle is that? You guys are that flower operating in this world, like the seed that was planted when you were born. And look what you are now. And here's the chills again. Yep. You guys are if you feel like you've barely broken the surface of that ground, that cracked brown ground, just know what is in your future is that beautiful bloomed out flower. I took this card in a whole other direction, but that's just what's really standing out to me is your mission on this earth and what you will actually accomplish is to be that bloomed out flower, that absolute pinnacle of light, that beauty that people can point to and just be like, wow. And it's not your physical appearance. I mean, it can be, obviously. You guys are probably very beautiful people outside if you are on the inside, but I'm talking about that inside, that light that is shining through you. That is a beauty beyond any physical beauty you could have, and it is so much more valuable than any physical beauty you can have, because that is not a beauty you can create just, out of nowhere. That internal beauty, that can't come from a bottle or a makeup palette. That is either there or it's not. I mean, it's not something that can just come out of nowhere. So I'm just saying, you guys have that absolutely amazing inner beauty, which almost always reflects on the outer to be a outer beauty. So you probably are inner and outer beauties, my people watching my pile threes. So then we have the sensitivity card. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So yes, you guys, especially in 2020, I'm thinking you guys are feeling all the feels. You guys are just feeling this sense of doom and gloom and chaos, and what's going on in the world has really been affecting you guys because you are my empaths. You are my highly sensitive souls here on this planet. And it's again, this is not an accident that you are feeling so bombarded with everyone else's energy and just the energy and the negativity of everything going on in the world. It's because you're here to transmute that and, shift that into something better, something that's going to serve humanity rather than destroy it. And there are ways you guys can shield yourselves, but that sensitivity, that is you tapping into the extrasensory, all the clairs, the claircognizance, the clairsentience, the clairvoyance, all of the clairs. Like, you guys have all the clairs really amplified when you can get in that heart space, because you are so sensitive. It's like you guys, I just saw you as like the clear quartz of the world. Like, whatever it is you're near, you amplify that energy like a clear quartz would amplify the energy of the amethyst or the rose quartz or the hematite or whatever it is that quartz is next to. It amplifies that energy in a good way, though. So even if you're next to this negativity, it's not like you're gonna amplify that negativity. You're gonna transmute that negativity or shift it into something that's gonna serve humanity. And as I say that, I'm being drawn over to this clouds card. Shape shifting, yes, that's what clouds do. They shift and move and morph into something different. And you take the negative energy that comes into your body, whether you know this or not, this is on a subconscious or just like a physical level. You guys transmute that energy into something that can be useful and used for the greater good of this earth and humanity. And as I was saying earlier about connecting with those earth elementals and all of that, the clouds, the air elementals, the air spirits, the sylphs that live up there and clear the air, clean the air of the chemtrails and the smoke and all the pollution and smog. They're up there working day in and day out. You can look out there and see them. I'll insert a picture of what sylphs look like over here. It's so fun. If you catch them out, if you see them out, watch them expand, watch them move across the sky, watch them shift, and watch them like take the smog, take the geoengineered clouds, take the chemtrails, and they round it all up. And sometimes the whole sky will turn white because they're just like alchemizing that energy into something that's actually going to serve humanity rather than be a detriment to humanity. But I think you guys, because this clouds and I had mentioned sylphs earlier, I think you guys have this beautiful and strong connection to the sylphs. It's almost like you can have them do your bidding. So, say you live in somewhere where there are some wildfires right now, or a lot of spraying of chemicals on crops or in chemtrails or whatever it is. Call that spirit, I can't even talk, I'm so excited. You guys can call on the energy of the sylphs to come in and clean house, so to speak. It's like you guys can call them in. And it's not like you're controlling them, like you're some sort of slave driver telling them they need to come do your bidding. It just feels like you have this special connection to them to where you can say, hey, this area I'm in could really use some help. Can you come and clean it out? And absolutely they will listen and they will be right there. So try that out. I want you guys as an experiment, if you can even see the sky. I mean, where I'm at in Montana, you can't even see out the window. I mean, you can't see the mountains, even the trees in the short distance. The visibility is like less than a mile, I think, today. But those big, long, majestic mountains that we normally have are just not visible right now. But as an example, or as a bit of homework, maybe go out and try to work with the sylphs. Or if it's a completely cloudless day, wait till there are some clouds, because that's when you know that energy is around. And, ask them to, even you can connect with the clouds and ask them to morph into the shape of a horse or the shape of a heart or whatever it is you want to see in the sky, because they will have fun playing with you. It'll be really cool. You'll have to try that out and let me know. So then we have the number 32, 3 plus 2 is 5, and it is the music card. And group number, I think it was group 1, had this really strong connection to music, and you guys are no different. So maybe you guys had selected groups 1 and now 3. So whatever it is, if you had selected that or not, I'm just so excited. I keep stumbling over my words. I'm so sorry, you guys. But whether you had selected group 1 or not, you can always go back and check it out if you want more. I talked a lot about their connection to music, but you guys yourselves have this beautiful connection to music as well, where you are either you're making music and it's your gift to the world, like it's infused with codes of awakening and enlightenment for other people, or when you listen to music, it just raises your vibration or just puts you in this beautiful zone to where you can live more from that joyful or that heart-centered place within you. Music is just going to be very important to you guys, and one of your spiritual gifts even would be being able to create beautiful music. And if you're someone who feels like, well, I tried to play like trumpet in middle school or something, but not anything since then, it's never too late to pick up an instrument and try to learn. Or even singing. I think you guys would probably have some really beautiful singing voices with this music card. And, your voice is a very powerful gift, because when we speak, we are speaking words. And when we write words out, we are spelling the words. So your words are like audible spells that you are casting. So the words you say are very powerful. So they have power over other people, whether you know it or not. So it's almost like you can charm people with your words or with your music or with your singing voice. But even if you're someone who absolutely loves music but don't really play music or create music, maybe even if you go on the computer and get some sort of app or program where you can create music on your computer or on your phone using like already pre-recorded drum beats and stuff like that, like maybe GarageBand. I don't even know if that's still a thing for the Mac, but there's lots of different musical programs you can do. If you're not very musically inclined, you can still use pre-recorded loops and stuff to create music. That could still be a fun way you can use to connect, because music is going to help raise your vibration and the vibration of those around you. So then your last card here is the Child Divine card. The light attribute says, innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. Absolutely, you are the divine incarnate. You are a piece of God, a spark of source incarnated on this earth right now. And if that in and of itself isn't a miracle, I don't know what it is. That is beautiful. You guys are walking, talking, creating beautiful miracles every day of your lives. Just being here is a gift to humanity and to the earth. Just you having decided that this is something I'm going to do, is incarnate on the earth at this time. What a gift you are to those around you and to this earth. You are amazing. You matter. You are here for a reason, and you are greatly protected in your mission here. And if no one said it to you anytime lately, I want to say it. Thank you for being who you are, for not conforming to what you know isn't right for you, by being who you are on that soul level and shining that light in this world, because it's needed more now than ever before. So whatever it is that is your truth, whatever it is that lights you up, follow those things, be those things, because this world needs it so bad right now, you don't even know. So thank you guys so much, and you will have to let me know below if this resonated, and if you knew of these gifts, if you already knew that you had these gifts, or if this is all news to you. Either way, I love to hear what you guys have to say about your readings, and I love to see the conversations you guys get going in the comments, because I always love to see everyone share the love. It just makes me so happy. So thank you guys again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. Alright, bye. Alright, group number 4, let's go ahead and find out what your spiritual gifts are. And if you skipped my intro, I just wanted to say that the spiritual gifts aren't always just going to look like your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, your clairsentience, and all the clairs. A lot of times they look like living from that heart center or that heart space and being that spark of divinity within this 3D realm. Just being a joyful person and living from your heart is a spiritual gift, and it's something this world desperately needs right now. And just from this cover card here, I'm already seeing, that heart space and that high heart chakra and up into the throat chakra is very active in you and very important to you. And when I use this deck, I always get very long-winded. I don't know why I connect to this deck more than any other deck I have, probably. But I can literally draw one card and talk about it for a half hour. Don't even really need the other cards, because every one of these piles so far, what I've said in this card has really hit home with the other cards in the deck, because I deal these out face down so that I don't see them until you do. So I'm almost was like kicking myself, like I should have just dealt on camera, because then you could see the magic unfold, because it's so beautiful when everything just lines up. But what I want to say about this card is the Faith card. It says humanity and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. And I think this for you guys is just such an amazing message, especially if you're watching this at the time of my posting in 2020. Wow, what a year it's been, huh? But I see one of your gifts is just being that light, shining that light, and being unafraid to show the world who you are. And I think it's been quite a process for you guys, because it's not the easiest thing to just be our authentic selves in a world where conformity is rewarded. You guys have really had to work hard to step out of trying to be those people pleasers and conforming to what it is you've been told you need to conform to, and kind of stepped out on your own path. Not in a way where you're rebelling and throwing the F word around like I'm never coming back, and then lighting that bridge on fire as you walk away. That's not your style. That's more group number was it 2? I think group number 2, maybe part of their style was kind of that more rebellious way, especially in their past as younger people. But you guys just kind of quietly step into who you are, rather than cause a big ruckus before you leave the old and step into the new. But you guys are my humanitarians, the people who I just heard, why can't we all just get along? And that is so beautiful, and you're very needed right now in this world, because the world is looking very dark. And it's not that the world is darker than it's ever been, because it's been like this for a very long time. It's just that the light is now shining so much brighter that none of the dark places, all those dark hiding places, are now in the light. They can't hide anymore, so they are out in the open. I mean, there are still dark crevices that the light will finally reach. It's not reached it yet, but it's like the more light that incarnates on this planet into human bodies, into the bodies of animals, into Mother Gaia herself, the more this energy raises on this planet, the more light that's going to be shown, and it's going to make it look like a darker place, because again, all the secrets can't be hiding anymore. The light is shining and everything is now revealed. So what I'm really seeing is that you're just shining your light. You're not going to live in the past anymore and just feel like a victim. You're ready to step into what you came here to do. And if you are still kind of feeling in that victim mode, maybe, I don't think most of you are, but if you are still in this like how am I ever going to make it through this? How is the world going to change? If you're still in that, that's okay. Honor where you are right now and allow yourself to feel how dejected you are, how low you feel. Allow yourself to feel it. Because in order to heal it, you need to feel it. You can't just spiritually bypass it and push it away or, bury it down deep within yourself. That can't happen anymore, because remember, the light is shining so bright now that all that darkness is coming to light within us and all the way out there in the world, because everything that we see on the external is a reflection of what we all have on the internal. We all have a shadow side. We all have things that we've done that we're not proud of, and now it's time to face those things head on. Love ourselves in every moment, love others in every moment, that we all were doing the best we could with the information and the tools that we had at the time, but now that we are better, we can be better, we can do better, and that's really what's standing out. And you guys are like the shining example of how to be better, how to be that light, how to be that example, how to be the change you want to see in the world. It starts with you, and you guys are the new way showers for a better way to operate, better systems to be put in place in this world. So let's go ahead and get some more guidance. Well, just like the other groups, this main card did not disappoint with what was coming out in the rest of the reading. What I said, you guys being that example and shining that light. We have 2 cards with the word leadership on them, and that is powerful. You guys are my leaders, but again, as I was saying, you guys aren't just banging down the door and charging in to get things done. You guys are that more quiet. There's a bird or a squirrel like running up my roof. I don't know what's going on right now out there, but we're going to continue. A leadership. You guys aren't this loud, banging down the door type of person and be like, okay, listen here, idiots, this is what we're doing, and we're doing it this way, and we're doing it now. It's a very quiet, it's like you're leading by example. You don't even have to like order anyone around, because people are just going to look to you for guidance and direction of what they can do next. And it's not like you have to take on all these people that are following you around. I don't see it like that either. I just see it as kind of a give and a take. Like, people see you shining your light and they're just almost like, tell me how to be like you. I just want to know. They're willing to put in their own work. You don't have to bring them or drag them along for the ride, so to speak. But with the number 81 here on this leadership card, 8 plus 1 is 9, and 9s are that ending of a cycle. We are coming to the end of that cycle, that age of Pisces, going into the age of Aquarius, or, the Great Awakening, as many are calling it, and the higher states of consciousness that are becoming available to the humans and the everything on this planet are waking us up. And you guys are at the forefront of that, I guess you could call it a revolution, but it's a quiet revolution. It's not like any revolution that I know of in our human history, where we've revolutionized things by, going in guns blazing and all of that. This time we're doing it from the ground up. And I'm gonna probably try to link it in the description, because I think this is such a beautiful example of what I'm talking about, but I can't even remember her name. But she has this like pile of sugar cubes, like a pyramid of sugar cubes, and I'm like giving the Illuminati symbol here. But she's got all these sugar cubes, and then she dumps the water into the sugar cubes, and she's basically saying that to change the pyramid of control on this planet, it's the lowest of the low, the poorest of the poor. It's the common people that are gonna make the change that needs to be made in this world. And it's not until those changes are really in full swing before those leaders at the top are gonna understand that, oh no, something's happening, we're losing control of our minions. Kind of. You'll just have to watch it below. She does such a better job than I just did of trying to explain how to change the game here on this planet, and it's just being that living example, really. But you'll have to check it out. I'll link it in the description. So then we have, with this leadership, 2 of them. You guys are those quiet revolutionaries. Just, you don't have to try to go find a flock to lead or anything like that. It's just you living and being that example is going to bring that flock to you. So it's almost like this lighthouse analogy that I use quite a bit on my channel, where you just shine your light. You're that lighthouse, on the edge of the harbor, just shining that light round and round, day in and day out. And all those ships in the harbor, they know exactly where you are. So when they need help and they need guided back to the shore, they can follow that light. They know exactly where to find you. And then the ships out at the harbor that don't care, don't want to know, don't anything, they can just do what they want. That's not on you to go out there and chase them around and try to bring them back into the harbor. That's not on you. That's on them to figure out what they need to do. So it's a very kind of quiet leadership by example is really what I'm seeing for you guys. So then we have the Beyond the Ordinary card. 4 + 5, that's another 9. Another end of a cycle to shift into something else. And it's funny because I'm just seeing like you guys are waking up to these more spiritual sides of yourself with this great awakening that's happening. And you're stepping more into your own power and into your own gifts. And in effect, on the external part of the world, on the external reality of your life, you're going to be seeing things that weren't there before, or things that you didn't have access to because you weren't in a high enough vibration, so to speak. So maybe you are seeing, spirits or entities out of the corner of your eye. So you, I do feel, are the ones who can see beyond the veil. Just in your waking hours, just being who you are, you guys can see spirits, or as you say, ghosts. You can see entities. You can even feel their presence. If you can't see them, you can just know that they're there. You can feel them step into your aura, so to speak. So you are the ones that can see also like a vision of what Earth could be, or what life on Earth and everyday life could look like, instead of just what is and what has been. You guys can see beyond what is and has been to something better, to something greater. And that is such a gift, to have that vision, like a visionary, knowing what to create for a future for us. Then you have the Storyteller card, and as I read this, I'm saying no. This goes hand in hand with ancestors. This is the story, because we have a key here to unlock the middle of this book. It's like, oh man, this is amazing. Okay, so in the middle of that book, there is a keyhole. And then at the corner of that page up here, we've got that key. So what this is saying to me is, okay, this is the book we're all dealing with. We'll call this the 3D Earth. This book is the 3D Earth. So you can go ahead and pick up this feather pen here, dip it in that ink, and start writing on these pages of 3D Earth. Or, which you can do, or you can take this key, unlock the middle of this book, and put yourself in a whole other world. That's what this is saying. But because, the past, there's nothing new under the sun. The past is a representation of the present, is a representation of the future, is a representation of the past. It's that wheel that keeps on turning. This card is directing me directly down with this pen, is pointing like this, down to this Ancestors card, the generations, and we have the handprints. Focus! Okay, so we have the handprints, and then we have these like snakes. The snake, not one, it's one snake, not two. Okay, so we have, and all these little, I should just say it all at once. We have all these little bubbles kind of in the background, and for some reason they remind me like of blood cells, or some like microscopic thing you would be looking at, tissues underneath the microscope or something, is really what that reminds me of. And I just heard like blood and plasma, because I used to donate my plasma, and they'd take your blood out and it'd go through this machine, and then it would take out the plasma from the blood and then return the blood to your body. But the plasma in the bag was kind of orangish reddish to maybe even a yellowish. It kind of depended on the person. But it's almost like you're taking the essence. Wow, this is getting really deep and cool and weird, and I love every second of it. But what I'm really seeing with this card is, okay, so the ancestors, generations, we're at this tipping point in human history to where we can either decide, which we're not going to for the most part, to just restart that cycle and go back to the past again. Or we can take everything we've learned from the past, both good and bad, and apply it to our future, but leaving the bad out. It's almost like we are just, that plasma machine. We're just taking out what worked, what does work, the love, the taking care of one another, all the good virtues and spirituality and spiritual gifts that we have on the planet. And as that plasma going in the bag, we take out what's meant for us, the lessons we've learned through our ancestors and through the generations, and taking that with us to unlock this new dimension or this new realm where we're taking what did work with us to create something new. And then we can just return that blood back into the body of, the earth or the whatever to remain as the 3D. But it's not that the 3D earth is going to crumble beneath our feet and then we're going to be waiting out in the nothing. We're going to evolve that and create that under our feet as we stand. And I cannot articulate this the way I'm seeing it. I just see it playing out like a movie in my head, and I just wish I could keep up with my words, what I'm seeing in my head. But it's like we're taking that plasma bag of what worked into our future, unlocking this, leaving the 3D behind. But it's not like we're leaving it behind, because I say this a lot in my readings. You can have someone who's more in the 4 to 5D earth standing right next to, or even holding hands with someone who's in the 3D earth timeline. It's coinciding. It's like layers of an onion just stacked right on top of each other. So you can be existing in the same space as someone. One person's on 5D, another person's in 3D. But we're taking to 5D what works. And that's one of your guys' gifts. It's like you're taking everything that works and you're excited about it. You're taking what works and putting it in a bag and unlocking this, that wardrobe closet to Narnia. You're taking what works to Narnia, or this new place, and leaving behind what's not working anymore. That's really I'm seeing what's standing out. Then we have talk to your angels. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. And I think you guys have this beautiful connection to your guides or angels. And if you haven't already known any of your guides or angels by name or worked with them before, just know that in your future you're definitely going to be. But I think many of you guys are already on that path. You may know many of your angels by name or your guides, or you just kind of have this overwhelming sense that you're being taken care of and that you can give your worries to these angels because they are with you and they are helping us. They're assisting us here on this earth plane. So you guys have that beautiful connection with them. And then with this indigo and crystal children card, it says you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Those indigos, those crystals, those rainbows, there's blue-ray souls, there's all the labels you want to slap on what people are calling star seeds or light workers. You yourself may be an indigo, but I'm feeling more crystal child with this group than indigo. Indigo was more pile 2, and I didn't even say that in pile 2. I probably should have. They were very strong indigo vibes, but you guys are very strong crystal and even rainbow vibes is really what I'm picking up. But if you are crystal children or identify as that, if you don't know what that is, you can go ahead and Google what is a crystal child, or properties of a crystal child. What is a crystal child? Look that up, because a lot of times the crystal children will give birth to the rainbow children. Well, you can even take it up the line a little more. The indigos give birth to the crystals who give birth to the rainbows. It doesn't always have to be that way, but you yourself may be a crystal and have rainbow children, or eventually will have rainbow children, or you're just working with children and you have this strong connection to them because these children coming in, that have been coming in for decades now, are very highly, tingles, here we go, very highly evolved souls that decided to come here and help save humanity from itself. So you yourself are one of these highly advanced souls that is here, and any child you give birth to or adopt or work with is most likely going to be someone you work with or know on a soul level as soul family, or someone who they themselves are very evolved souls as well. So then with this beggar card, the light attribute says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humanity, compassion, and self-esteem. Oh my gosh, you guys, humanity. You guys are waking people up. You guys are doing it with this humbling sense and this compassionate sense of being, rather than, like I said, like the more indigo kind of energy that just barges in and let's get this job done. You guys are the more quiet and peaceful and, compassionate way of, moving forward and rebuilding something beautiful and something new in the place of what has been destroyed and what is no longer working. You and your plasma bag of beautiful tricks are going into the future to help awaken the spiritual authority of this realm. You are, wow, it's so powerful, you guys. I can't even put it into words. It's almost brings a tear to my eye. It's just, you guys, oh, and here come the chills again. You guys are just so magical and beautiful and highly, highly evolved souls that, even if you feel very, very human, you're supposed to be. You are in a human body, but that does not mean that you are only a human. You are a soul having a human experience. That's how I want you to look at yourself. First and foremost is a soul, a spark of divine, a spark of the infinite source of all that is, or God, or whatever you call that, the universe. You are a spark or a piece, consciousness of that God, that universe, having a human experience. And if you can go through life knowing that you and all others are a spark of that divine source, and have that sense of forgiveness and compassion and love for everyone and everything on this planet, first and foremost, if that's the way you operate, you'll ascend in like a second. That, it's so hard to do when we are told to fight and just be divided and don't love people because they're different than us. You guys are the opposite. You are the unifiers. You are bringing everyone back together to remind our whole selves and our whole planet that we are all one. Yes, we are unique expressions of the one, but we are all connected in this tapestry of divinity on this planet that we've all forgotten about. We all have amnesia where our divinity is concerned, but you guys are the ones helping bring it back online for many. And you guys may actually be suffering a lot of what they call ascension symptoms, because much like group 3, they were very highly sensitive to the energies around them. I feel you yourselves are very sensitive to the energies around you too, because you're seeing beyond the ordinary. You're feeling beyond the ordinary. You're feeling these energies bombarding our planet, which it's a good thing these energies are coming in, but because we've been in such a low vibration for so long, it's really hard to be in that higher vibration for long before our bodies start needing to sleep, or feeling really lethargic, or headaches, or changes in our diet, or just weird random aches and pains, and just the whole gamut. Like your body is really being the anchor that is holding these energies in, and you guys really go through the ringer on that. But then you have the clairvoyance card. Archangel Raziel says, I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So either you guys are already have already been working with that clairvoyance all your life, and you've had your third eye open your whole life, or it's been open for a long time, or you're just now like looking into how do I open my third eye and whatever. My top camera just died because the battery died, but we're so close to the end, I'm just going to finish it up on this camera. But what I was saying is your clairvoyance, just your willingness or wanting to have your third eye open, so to speak, is already because you are meant to have that happen. So it's either already happened or it will be happening for you guys, and there is just this really beautiful like visions that you're gonna, as I drop the card, visions that you're gonna be getting. Sorry, I had to refocus this camera because it didn't want to focus back on me. So okay, but yes, you guys will be, if you haven't already, be awakening that third eye and just really be getting these visions, premonitions, a lot of stuff in your dreams. You guys get a lot of information in your dreams. So these spiritual gifts you guys have are absolutely amazing. They are very abundant and very needed at this time on this planet, and I think I've thanked every single pile, but you guys are no exception. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to incarnate at this time, taking time out of your busy soul soul life to incarnate on measly little planet Earth, which is actually a very beautiful planet, even though it's been ruled by the dark for so long. But you guys are here to shed that light and bring all that darkness to light so that we can make this planet what it was already first and foremost designed to be, that beautiful beacon of light. So I just want to thank you guys so much. You'll have to let me know below if this resonated, if you've discovered some gifts you didn't realize about yourself, or if you already knew about these things, but you will have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye.